and welcome in to another Mets live broadcast here on MST. It's the third home game of the year. It's the 1-3 Moncton Mets against the current undefeated St. John Alpines. They've only played one game, have not had too much luck with the weather, and the Alpines' only game came with a 6-0 victory over the Moncton Mets in St. John just earlier this past weekend. Jackson Decker starts up on the mound, and in his last start pitched 5 scoreless against the Charlottetown Islanders, where the Mets got their only win of the year, taken by a score of 2-0. Adam Clark will lead it off for the Alpines, and Decker starts him off with a strike. Second pitch goes down low. That one for 1 ball and 1 strike. Next one, it's swung on by Clark and not going to make contact with it. Now 1-2. So far, Adam Clark in 1 game, 2 at-bats, 2 runs with a hit so far. Pitch from Decker's a bit inside. Now going to even up the count. And the 2-2 from Decker. That one way outside. In the dirt as well for ball 3. Now we're going to start off our first at-bat with a full count. With a walk. So we'll start off with 1 man aboard to start the game. Now it's Connor Hill that comes up. He'll take ball 1 with a man up on first in 1 game. Has not found a way on base so far. Looks to change that here. Batting in the second spot with Clark up on first. Pitch from Decker is one that just picks the corner, and swinging is Hill. Now the 1-1. That one looked in just low, on back to first is Green. Caught on by Vautour, but it's Clark that just gets in there at first. One ball and 2 strikes to Hill. This one just inside, bringing it to 2-2. Two to Hill. Clark still stands on first. This one going to be low, ball 3. Now another full count from Decker. Last at bat also into a full count. Gave up a walk, and this one going to be similar. Hill's going to hustle to first with the ball going to the backstop. Nothing's going to come out of that. So 2 walks in a row from Decker to start off the inning. And a quick little mound visit with catcher Jake Green. And next up will be Matt Beach. In his first outing, 3 for 4 with 3 singles. And the first pitch to Beach, just down and away for ball 1. And this one swung on, foul tip, but caught by Green. Now going to bring up the even count once more. From Decker, the 1-1. That one low and into the dirt. Two and 1 to Beach. This one outside again, ball 3. Decker could be at risk at walking 3 in a row to load the bases to start this one off. And he will walk the first 3 batters, as now the bases are wide and loaded for Devin Thomas. Now bases loaded for Devin Thomas. So far, not a hit in his first game, the 3 at-bats he had. It would be a clutch way to to get his first hit here with a golden opportunity with men aboard on all 3 bases. And still no one out in the inning. Beach on first, Hill on second, and Clark on third. That's 2 balls in a row now from Decker. Now it's 1-1. 1-1 from Decker is swung on and missed from Thomas. One balls and 2 strikes. And there is a clutch strike 3 from Decker. Gets him his first strikeout of the game. And the first out when he needed it with 3 men aboard. Now it's 1 out for Mark Legier. Only 1 at bat in the game versus the Mets, and he got a hit and a run with that. So as of right now, a 1,000 batting average, starting off with a foul tip into the backstop. Again, Legier, this one's going to go into the lefty batter's box for a 1-1 count. Decker 1-1, this one slapped over the right field. Giving chase is Martin, and he's not going to get it. Now it's Martin and Bartley that look for it at center, throwing into second base with Smith. 2 runners going home, and all 3 will score. And a perfectly hit ball over to right center in between Bartley and Martin. They're unable to track it down. And 3 Alpines runners will move in to score. And Legier only made it to first base. That's going to be a 3-run single. Not all too often that occurs. Now it's Connor Huckins, the first baseman today. Stepping in, quickly starts off 0-2 on his count. Now the 0-2 to Huckins. This one grounded to Vautour, gonna step on his bag, and no one covering second. So Vautour will get the 3 unassisted for the second out, but Legier will advance to second. So now 2 outs and a runner on second for Ryan Van Snick. He is going to be behind the plate today. Two balls and a strike. Turn off for Van Snick, and there's strike one. Van Snick so far, no hits, but has got aboard with a walk and scored in game number one. One of 6 runs they had scored in that one. They wanted to go, held off, now for 3-1. 3-1 to Van Snick's gonna be fouled and slam off a pole on the backstop. Now the full count and 2 outs for Van Snick. And DH Mark Legier waits patiently at second. Deal from Decker is low and away. So Van Snick will trot along to first base. Now it's Dignam that's in. It started off with a ball, has 1 runner in scoring position and another one waiting on first. This one's from Decker is going to be in there, low part of the strike zone. And this is going to be Dignam's first plate appearance of the year. Not saying much. Alpines have only had 1 full game played. Two one from Decker. That's when he fouled back above the ballpark. So 2-2 with 2 outs, 2 men aboard in the top of the first. Decker to Dignam. That one's far outside. Now another try with full count. And 2 outs this time for Dignam. And there is strike 3 to end off the inning. Decker is going to get 2 going down swing, but ultimately give up 3 in the first inning. And the due-up for the Mets in the bottom of the first, it's Cormier, Van Putten, and Vautour next on MST.
All foul balls to the property of the Moncton Dixie Mets Baseball Club. Please return all foul balls to the Mets Game Day office to receive the Skittles Foul Ball Reward. Les fausses balles sont la propriété du club de baseball Dixie Mets. S'il vous plaît, retournez chaque fausse balle à l'entrée principale afin de recevoir le Skittles Foul Ball Reward.
And Cormier quickly off the hop, slaps one over to right field. That one's going to be caught by Thomas for 1 pitch and 1 out. Another time where the Mets get a really hard hit ball, but it goes right into an outfielder's glove. Now it's going to be 1 out for Van Putten, who has 2 singles so far this year and 5 at-bats. Has 1 run to tack along with it. That one fouled back, 1-2. And the pitch to Van Putten, grounded over to second. There's Hill going to go over to first for Huckins for a routine ground out to second. Now Serge Vautour comes up in the 3 spot with 2 out. And this one's going to be slapped over to first base. Huckins going to go over to the bag himself. And that will be a quick first inning for the Mets. So 3 up, 3 down with a fly out to Thomas. A ground out to Hill. And Hawkins will go to his bag unassisted. So it'll be 3-0 Alpines after the first inning. Stick along here on MST.
The Moncton Dixie Mets would like to thank our platinum sponsors for this season. Les Dixie Mets de Moncton aimerions remercier leur commanditaire platine cette année, Dixie Lee Restaurant. We have a prize pack compliments of Matt Gould, photography, official photographer of the Moncton Mets, and that goes to program number 73. The thank you prize is the Mets Game Day Office.
So after a quick top of the first, it's Matt Peacock that leads off for the Alpines with a quick straight from Decker. Peacock playing left field here this evening on what has been by far the best night for baseball. This one's chopped high. Moving on it. Cormier stepping up. Will fire to Vautour, but he's going to be in there. And Peacock could not have played a better high chopper than that. Going right over the middle of Vautour, having to rush to get it. A little bobble. That's going to get Peacock in there at first, leading off with a single. Now it's Adam Clark back for his second attempt in this game. His first at bat, gone on with a free pass. And one ball to start off for Clark. And Clark with a hit in one of his two at-bats. This one slapped high, but would be way right into the Kiwanis Park parking lot. One and one count to Clark. Pitch from Decker. That one's going to skip off the dirt. So shortstop Adam Clark with a .500 batting average so far, and not having an official at-bat so far this game. Now the 3-1 could be trending in the direction of another walk for Adam Clark. Pitch from Decker is going to be down low, and that's going to be 2 consecutive walks in 2 consecutive innings for Adam Clark. So now runners on first and second. Again to start off the inning, Connor Hill coming up. He too also made it on via a walk. And 2 close infielders, the shortstop and the second baseman, Connor Hill, stepping up in the 1 and 2 spots. Hill with the 1-0. From Decker, this one hit sharply out into the parking lot. Now even count 1-1. This one fouled right back into the netting. And the 1-2 from Decker. Peacock on second, Clark on first. And what a beautiful curveball. That one's chopped high, will be caught by Burrow. He'll try to throw it on to first, but that's going to be nowhere close to being on time. Excuse me, that was Decker that had tried to fire that one over to first with speed. But now bases loaded again. And no outs. And a theme it's been for the Mets. A team scores multiple runs in the first inning. In their first game against Charlottetown, they got out to a 4-run first. And in their second, they surrendered 3 to the Islanders and surrendered 3 here in the first inning to the Alpines. This one into the strike zone for strike 1. So again, another 1-1 count to the center fielder and a 3-hole hitter, Matt Beach. And that one Beach saw and tried to go yard. Now gets himself up in a 1-2 count. That one fouled back by Beach. 1-2. Again, another 2-1 count for the right-handed batter, Matt Beach. And what a beautiful curveball into the zone from Decker. And a rinse and repeat of the first inning. Getting a strikeout on the 4th batter. It's now 1 out, and still the bases remain loaded. So 1-0 over to Thomas. His first at bat struck out after having the bases loaded with no men out. So 1-1, 1 man out. 3-0 Alpines lead. Another similar pitch that gets Thomas swinging. And now will be 1-2. Be a clutch strikeout for Decker, trying to get out of the trouble. With the 1-2, this one's in there for strike 3. And we'll get him down looking. So now 2 out with the bases loaded, force at any base for Legier, who got a single and then was stranded at second just an inning ago. And here, Decker starting to get hot. Starts him off with a strike with a little bit of a slider into the zone. And this fastball gonna go just upstairs. Starting Legier off, 1 ball, 1 strike. Still bases loaded. Peacock at third, Clark at second, and Hill at first. And this one, another slider into the zone from Decker, now 1-2. So Mark Legier so far hasn't gotten himself in any trouble at the plate. There's one that goes down low, now 2-2. Now Decker 2-2 with 2 out. This one just a bit low. Now the runners are going to be going on a full count and 2 out. Full count, 2 outs. Expect the runners to go. Here we go, triple steal. This one grounded to Cormier. Gonna get a glove on it. Fire to first to Cormier, and they get him. To Vautour, rather, at first. So that ends the top of the second with limited damage. Now we go to the bottom of the second with the toss from Cormier, making it a 6-3 to end the first inning. Did my car actually get hit? Jesse Malone steps up as the DH, playing in the 4 hole. There's the first pitch that's going to be inside. So it's Ryan Gilbraith who's on the mound. There's a quick strike looking. This one slapped and just foul. from Malone. So 2-2 the count now. Ryan Galbraith on the mound. And there's Malone going to draw a walk for the first Mets batter of the game on base.
Catcher number 21.
Now it's Jake Green that's up to bat as the catcher. Malone stands on first with no outs. Pitch from Galbraith is just down low for ball one. This one smacked up the middle, just going to be caught there by Hill. He'll touch his bag and he fired a first over for the double play. Didn't think he had time, but there's Huckins at first, scooping it out of the dirt. If there were any chance of the Mets rallying some runners on base, that's all killed there from the double play. From the 4 unassisted to 3 double play. Now it's Sean Bartley that's up after he takes ball one. So far, 3 hits in his first 4 games. There's one he'll get caught swinging. And there's one that'll get called for strike 2. So it's Bartley at the plate. The 1-2. This one's going to be chopped just foul. So still 1-2, 2 outs for Bartley. Left-handed batter, and he's going to get struck out here to end the inning. Another 3 up and 3 down, although got a runner on, but a double play. The batter after still 3-0 Alpines after 2 complete.
Dixie Mets would like to thank the following sponsors for their support. Les Dixie Mets de Moncton aimerions remercier les commanditaires suivants pour leur appui. Royal Corporate Image, Atlantic Superstore, Napa Auto Parts, Moncton's Rock Station Q103, Skipper Jack's Restaurant, Cancel Printing, and Acadian Toyota. First baseman number 3, Connor Huckins.
There's another one that'll go low for ball 2. So Van Snick so far has not got on base, and there it is. He'll get his first base hit as he'll stroll his way along in the first. So a strong base hit, getting his team back with runners aboard. Now Dignam's up in the top of the third. Runner on first. And 1 out so far. There's one that's in there for a strike. Dignam last season has not played a game so far this year, has 1 strikeout on the day. Here's the pitch that's outside for ball 1, evening up the count. And the 1-1 from Decker with a man on first, curved down low, just too low. It's Van Snick that waits on first, watched by Serge Vautour. Now back to the batter, it's 2-1. Pitch from Decker, slapped over to center. Bartley giving chase, curving more and more to his left, but he'll come up with the catch. So Dignam is retired. But this one, effort needed by Bartley to come up with this one. Van Snick still on first with 2 out. Up comes Peacock, who got a single in his last at-bat. And his only at-bat so far of the game. This one smacked high. Not too deep, however, as Bartley will come in again and make the catch. And it's 2 quick flyouts to center field. That'll end top of the third. And there's 1 hit, and it's Van Snick that gets left on base. So still 3-0 after 2.5. It's Justin Bro that leaves off. Bottom of the third, pitch from Galbraith is a ball. And this one's popped high in the air, will just stay in play and caught by Van Snick for a quick out one. So it's a pop out to the catcher. That starts off this first inning. And now that'll bring up second baseman today, Brian Smith. Smith so far this season with 4 games played, has 2 hits and an RBI. Gets himself started off with a strike. This one slammed into center field, and that'll be another hit for him as he will coast on into first. A beautiful hit from Smith to get up on a base. And now it's Martin that will move into the batter's box. Quick pitch gets him up to ball 1. Martin with 1 hit so far in 2 games. Had a single with an addition with a walk. That's 2 balls now on for Martin. Another left-handed batter for the Mets. Pitch from Galbraith. Looked like he had wanted to pounce on that one, but will take it. And that one will end up being a strike. Now moving it over to 2-1. That one a bit low now for ball 3. Giving Martin a favorable count, and Smith still waits on first base. The pitch, this one going to be smacked into the hole from Martin, and now it's 2 consecutive hits in a row for the Mets. And the bottom of the order so far, putting in the work. Now Justin Cormier will step up to bat. 2 runners on base, 1 in scoring position, 3 hits on the year, has scored once so far. First pitch started off with a strike for an 0-1 count. Brian Smith on second, Martin on first. This one going to be chopped foul and caught off a hop by our camera operator right over the fence at first base. Now off that foul ball, 0-2 to Cormier. He'll chop at this one, going to go to the second baseman, to second, to first. And they're not going to get him. It looks like Cormier with his speed will hustle on over to first. That was Clark to Hill to get that first out. Now Van Putten will step in to bat. And there's Cormier there, just able to beat it out. Now runners on the corners for Van Putten. Smith at third and Cormier at first. Pitch from Galbraith is in the zone there for strike one. And Van Pudden so far this year, a couple of hits to his name and a run for a 400 batting average. Chopped over to third base. And we'll get Van Pudden there at first. That again ends the inning. Mets got a couple up on base, but we'll have nothing doing after 3 complete. Alpines 3 and Mets still no score. Top of the 4th coming up on MST. Clark, Hill, and Beach coming up for the Alpines.
Moncton Dixie-Lee Mets would like to thank the following sponsors for their support. Les Dixie-Lee Mets de Moncton aimerions remercier les commanditaires suivants pour leur appui. Royal Corporate Image, Atlantic Superstore, Napa Auto Parts, Moncton's Rock Station Q103, Skipper's Axe Restaurant, Cancel Printing, and Acadian Toyota.
Shortstop number 7, Adam Clark.
So the leadoff hitter, Adam Clark, once again into the box. Still has not had an official at-bat in this game. His first 2 at-bats ended up walks. And he got all the way to home plate on one of them. They're showing bunt. Realized that ball was a bit low. One and oh to Clark. Decker still on the mound. That one looked good there for a minute, but just slid outside the zone. And 2-0 to Clark. Pitch from Decker again down low, making it 3-0. Could be another walk here for Clark. Pitch from Decker inside. That will be the case as Clark will take his sweet time going down to first base. Now 3 walks in this game for him. Now it's Connor Hill that steps into the box. Quick pickoff attempt to first. So Connor Hill last season shined with the bat, getting on base a ton with a lot of hits and not too many runs to show for it. But overall, a very impressive season. And showing like last year, Connor Hill gets on base a lot. A walk and a single to start off this game. So he is 1 for 1 so far tonight. He gets started off with a ball. Next one, another ball down into the dirt. And some action happening in the Mets bullpen. Can't tell exactly who it is. That's now 3 balls in a row from Decker. Three balls and no strikes to Hill. Hitting righty, second baseman. This one gonna be in there for a strike, so Decker stays alive here in this one. Another pickoff attempt at first base. Nothing doing on that, going back to the batter. 3-1 count for Hill. And time is called and time is given. And that one again outside. So Hill will make his way on base with another walk. Now out of the combined first 2 batters, they've been walked 5 times out of 6. And the other one was a single to Hill back in inning 2. Now they're going to meet with Decker again. So far, this just looks like a mound visit. And that will remain to be. Decker still going to stay in this game. In a little bit of a jam again, but he's gone out of it plenty of times so far. With limited damage. Top of the 4th, no men on. Or no men out, excuse me. 2 runners on base. And it's Matt Beach, a walk and a strikeout so far this game. So 0 for 1 for him, playing center field today. This one lifted high, giving chase. Van Putten, and he's going to catch it right next to the wall. Both runners will move up, thrown quickly into Bro. Or pardon me, he's not going to come up with it. So now bases loaded again, and Matt Beach sends one high and deep for a long single. Although he managed to quickly get it in and out of his glove and fire it over to third base. Now Mark Legier up with a bright blue bat. One low for ball 1. And Decker looks to be in some discomfort as Legier in his only game played. 1,000 batting average with 1 hit and 2 RBIs. May need a quick break here for a pitching change. Decker's going to try to throw. Looks to be fine, so he'll stay in. Bases loaded. No outs. With 1 ball to Devin Thomas. That's the 3rd time this game in only 4 innings The Alpines have had bases loaded and no outs. One ball for Thomas. Oh, it's just outside the zone. Ball 2. 3-0 Alpines. All those 3 runs were scored in the top of the first and have been no more runs since then. Decker the pitch, a swing and a miss made by Thomas. That will now bring up the 2-1. The 2-1 attempt from Decker is down low, will hit off a leg, and will have multiple runners advancing. And Clark comes in to score on the wild pitch. Now make it 4-0 Mets, or Alpines, excuse me. Mets are in a hole, down 4-0, and Decker will be out of the game. That is his last pitch. And we will now have some relief for the Mets. It looks like this. Now it's Jacob Stees, the rookie, that'll enter in to his second game pitched. Has 1 2/3 of an inning pitched so far and got 2 strikeouts in that one. So Devin Thomas still stands in a 2-1 count. But now will face a different pitcher mid at bat. A 3-1 count to Devin Thomas, still on bases loaded, no outs. And that's going to be swung on and missed. It was outside the zone. A good job from Steves getting him to chase. Now with a full count, it would be a huge strikeout for the Mets if that could happen. And there it is. 2 strikes delivered quickly from Steves, getting the 3rd punch out of the day on Devin Thomas.
The designated hitter, number 8, Mark Legier.
Now it's Mark Legier that'll step up. So far, only 1 hit on the year, but that's all he's needed to get for a 1,000 batting average. And it looks like we'll have an intentional walk.
First baseman, number 3, Connor Huckett.
So now this will load the bases after Clark had scored. There were runners on 2nd and 3rd. That's the first strike of the at-bat to Huckins. So far this year, no hits, but has found his way on base and into home plate. One and one to Huckins. Wanted to swing. That one's just inside. Two and one from Steves. This one will get called a strike up high in the top left corner now. 2 and 2. Bases still loaded. Legier on first. Beach on second. And Hill on third after all runners advance. This one fouled back into the netting. Now ball 3 goes down low. 3-2. Full count. Bases loaded. 1 out. This one smacked high and deep. Going back there is Martin with some room. He'll catch it. But now coming in from third is Hill to score on the sacrifice fly. The Alpines will increase their lead by a score of 5-0. Hill's going to get the sacrifice fly. Definitely got some good contact on this one, but just hit a bit too high. Now 5-0 Alpines. Runners on the corners. That one sent high and decently close to the helmet of Van Snick. Catcher today didn't have too many at-bats in last year. This one chopped foul with a stolen base attempt from Legier at first base. He'll coast back into first. Pickoff attempt at first base. Legier will get back safely. One and 0 is sent just outside. Now 2-0. Now 2-1. They just update the scoreboard. Finally getting the foul tip inside there. 2-1 with 2 out, and a hefty swing with the ball decently far outside, getting it to 2-2 now on catcher Ryan Van Snick. This one fouled back. Still 5-0 Alpines, 2-2 count. 2 out, pitch from Steves. That one just inside. Now gonna bring it back up to a full count. So full count now, Legier is gonna take off, and it's strike 3, swinging is Van Snick to end the inning off with a 5-0 lead for the Alpines.
The top of 4, 2 runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 2 men left. After 3.5, each on 5. That's 3. It's now time for the Dixie hit inning, thanks to Dixie Family Restaurant, 1180 on the road. Every Mets hitter will hit for Lucky Dan. If your Mets batter gets a hit, you win with Dixie Family Restaurant. Single is a $10 gift certificate, a double $20, a triple $30, and a home run is a $50 gift certificate.
Now it's Serge Vautour that steps up in the bottom of the first. Most RBIs on the team so far with a 3-run home run in the home opener.
The first baseman, number 16, Serge Vautour.
And also an RBI single in the most recent game versus the Islanders. Serge Vautour with some heavy power. He's leading off the 4th inning. Gale Braith still on the mound. That one's going to be down low for ball 1. This one grounded up the middle. A diving stop from Hill. A diving effort, rather, from Hill, will not get a hold of it, so Vautour's up aboard with a leadoff single.
The designated hitter, number 11, Jesse Malone.
Hill gets dirty. Will be unable to grab that one. Now DH Malone steps up. A walk his first try. That one he tried to absolutely unload. This one chopped over to first. Goes to the shortstop, Clark, trying to go back, but Malone will get in there safely. And it looks like the Alpines will be credited with an error on the throw to second base.
Jake is batting for program number 70, and Surgeon Single wins program number 85, a $10 Dixie League gift certificate.
And a quick hit from Green. That one way deep, but caught by the center fielder. And both runners will not advance. There'll be runners on the corners. Vautour will head over to third. Malone's going to stay put at first. So Green had absolutely pounded one to center field on the first pitch that he saw.
The center fielder, number 6, Sean Barkley.
Now it's Bartley that steps in. 1 out in the inning. First pitch swinging, but sent foul. Now runners on the corners, 1 out. It's Malone at first, Vautour at third. This one again, slice foul. This one's going to go right over the bleachers.
Runners batting for program number 93.
Bartley now in a hole. 0-2. This one will go up high for ball 1. On the 1-2, going to send it high. It'll go deep into first, but will be caught by Huckins, or excuse me, Hill at second base.
Third baseman, number 26, Justin Bro. Justin's batting for program number 81.
Now Bro, who had popped out to the catcher his last at bat, now has a chance with 2 outs and runners on the corners. We get the Mets started off with a couple runs. That one's a wild pitch. Vautour debated going home, but will stay at third. But Malone has advanced to second. Well, they're now saying it's a foul ball. So Malone will make his way back to first base. Now 0-2 to Bro. This one's at high and it will go out of play, I do believe. Smack off the roof. So Bro stays alive in this one here. And the first ball of the at-bat makes it now 1-2. It's third baseman Justin Bro still staying alive in the at-bat till it's chopped over to first base, but will be foul. And this one is strike 3 swinging from Bro. And that will end the 4th inning. Here's the Alpines go back to their dugout, up 5-0 after 4 complete innings so far into this one.
Your last chance to get your 50-50 tickets. Draw will be taking place before the Mets hit in the 6th inning.
The Moncton Dixie League Mets would like to thank the following sponsors for their support. Les aimerions remercier les communicants suivants pour leur appui. Dunfield Real Estate, Greco Pizza, Sportsmed Max Physiotherapy, Danielle Sanoui Photography, Lock Lumber Bass, the Moncton Sports Dome, the City of Moncton, JD Irving Limited, Planet Fitness, Igloo Beverage Room, Baker Tilly, Bricks Experience Moncton, and Southampton Solutions.
Third baseman, number 12, Matt Dignam.
And the top of the 5th brings up Matt Dignam for the first at-bat. That one's way out of the zone. Matt Dignam last year getting close to 20 hits and 7 RBIs. That one sent way foul, now 2-1. Matt Dignam so far 0 for 2, strikeout and a flout to Bartley. This one again sent foul, going to hit the top of the gymnasium over to the left. And the 2-2, this one sent high, and it looks like it's going to be caught by Bro at third, and that will be 1 away in the inning. There's an easy pop-up for Justin Bro to get a hold of that went towards the third base line. Now, 1 out for Peacock. Has singled and flown out so far this game. This one, a ground ball, will go to first, and that will get him for 2 quick outs of the 5th inning. It's been rare so far for the Mets to see that, getting 2 quick outs in the inning. Jackson Steves on the mound now. It'll be a 4-3 ground out. Now Adam Clark back up to bat. Still no official at bat, just 3 plate appearances, has walked 3 times. It's a high curveball, couldn't quite dip down in time. And that one's just gonna catch the corner of the plate for a 1-1 count. One and one, smack to center. This one, Bartley chasing on it, but it looks like he'll get under it. And that will end the top of the 5th. Bartley having a decent amount of action in center field, but a 3-up, 3-down inning. Mets do up Smith, Martin, Cormier. coming up bottom of the 5th on MST.
And a prize pack compliments of Matthew Photography, the official photographer of the Mets, and that goes to program number 100. Thank you, prize is the Mets Game Day Office. Second baseman number 25, Brian Smith.
Brian Smith will surrender the first strike in the at-bat. Second pitch just outside. It's Gilbreth still on the mound for the Alpines in this one. 1-1 count. This one swung on by Smith, but will have nothing on it. He's 1 for 1 with a single, made it all the way to third base, but was left stranded. Happened multiple times so far today for the Mets. This one's going to be sent out of play. Every Alpine will go chasing on it, but it's over the bleachers and into the parking lot. One and two again to Brian Smith. We'll have another attempt at it. That one's just gonna miss. This one smacked hard to the shortstop. Clark goes up and fires over to first base for the first out of the inning. So Smith gets a decent hold of this one, but it's just sent perfectly right to Clark for the first out of the inning. That one a first pitch, looking for a strike. This one hit hard right into center field by Martin. And he will get his second single of the game. On the second pitch, Martin saw it and liked it and fired it straight up the middle.
Shortstop number 7, Justin Cormier.
Now it's Cormier that steps up, 0 for 2 so far with a fly out to right and a fielder's choice. First pitch to Cormier is in there for a strike. Stefan Martin has enjoyed that 9-hole spot so far this game, 2 for 2, getting on base for the top of the lineup, and they have just been unable to get a rally going and get some runners on base. And scratch that, Cormier is going to line one right to center, but Beach comes on with a dive to catch it. Looked like that one was going to drop, and Cormier was just robbed of a hit. Thought that was a for sure hit for Cormier, but Beach goes along and dives. So a fly out to center field for Cormier now brings up Van Putten. 2 ground outs today, as Martin still waits patiently on first base. This one fouled away from Van Putten in a game where the Mets desperately need to get some runs going here in this one. Down 5-0 in the bottom of the 5th. Now with 2 outs, this one just gonna catch the outside of the plate. Now a 1-2 count for Van Putten. Has been successful so far this year, and he'll wave and a miss. Or rather, he will barely get a tip on it. I thought for sure he had missed that one. So Van Putten able to stay alive in this one. 1-2, this one way outside. Now count evened up for Van Putten. This one will be just outside. Now a full count with 2 outs. Watch Martin at first be going on this one. This one swung on and will be hit up the middle from Van Putten for a single. Martin going to third, and he's safe in there. So there's a clutch hit from Van Putten that will now move Martin up to third.
First baseman number 16, Serge Votor.
And now brings up the power of Serge Votor. They could really be using a 3-run homer like he did in the first game. That one just inside for ball 1. Runners on the corners with 2 outs for the first baseman, Serge Votor. And that one he tried to go yard and doesn't come up with any contact. Now 1-1 the count. From Galbraith, that one sent high in the air. Waiting on it is Hill at second base. He'll come up with the catch. And that will end the 5th inning. Still with a 5-0 score in favor of the Alpines here on Maritime Stream Team on our YouTube channel.
Moncton Dixie Mets would like to thank the following sponsors for their support. Nous aimerions vraiment signer les compétences suivantes pour leur appui. Greenfoot Energy, Dieppe Co-op IGA, Stéphane Brun Lawyer Avocat, Long's Restaurant, Connect Hearing, Cheers Beverage Room, MVP Barbershop, Hines Restaurant, Optimum Ride, Moosehead Breweries, Celtic Transport, MLA Greg Turner, Bonte Foods, Benjamin Moore Paints, 919 The Bed, Air Convenience, Tennessee Best Music, K94.5, and 103.9 Max FM.
batsman number 15, Josiah Coombs. Second baseman number 16, Connor Hill.
Now in for relief for the Mets is Josiah Coombs, his first appearance of the season, as the count gets started off with a foul ball over for Hill. Last year, Coombs had over 20 innings pitched. And there's one smacked out into center by Hill. So he'll start off with a leadoff single.
Center fielder number 20, Matt Beach.
Hill on base for the fourth time in this game. Now with 2 walks and 2 singles. That brings up Matt Beach, who has singled, walked, and struck out so far in this contest. First pitch from Coombs will be in there for a strike. Now count 0-1, Beach with 3 hits so far in the first game he's played against the Mets. Coombs with pitch 2 is fouled off by Beach. Now in command, 0-2.
Not a problem, buddy. Who's that sitting next to you?
Now time called. Top of the 6th, Alpines in the driver's seat in this game. They're up 5-0. Coming out of the last 2 innings. This one from Coombs is a decent bit outside. One and 2 from Coombs, bounced in the dirt, and will fire back to first, and they're not going to get him. Now is ever so close to getting Hill out at first, jumping. Expected it to go past Green. But Green caught it perfectly on a hop, read it like a book, and loaded a cannon back to first, and there's a swinging strikeout from Coombs, getting Beach going down. So a huge first out for the Mets. And that brings up Devin Thomas, striking out 3 times so far today, 2 swinging and 1 looking. Off the hop, it's a ball, 1-0. Another one low from Coombs, now 2-0 the count. From Coombs, that one sliding outside. Now 3-0, it's Thomas, heavy in the driver's seat in the count. This one sent high into the left, but will go foul. That'll just manage to avoid the Mets dugout. 3-1 to Thomas. Pitch, that's upstairs for ball 4, and he'll step his way on to first.
The designated hitter, number 8, Mark Legier.
Now Mark Legier will step up. 1 out. And in the top of the 6th. There's ball 1 in the Cup Finals. Oilers just score up to go 1-0 over the Panthers. And what is bound to be an extremely thrilling rematch of the Stanley Cup Finals. Pitch from Coombs. That one hits off of Green. Both runners will have plenty of time to advance. Now it'll be runners at second and third. Off the wild pitch from Coombs. So 2-0, the count against Mark Legier, playing the designated hitter in this game. That one way outside. Now going to be ball 3. Three and 0 against Legier. This one's in there for the first strike of the at-bat. And this one upstairs, so base is now going to be loaded after another walk is surrendered to Legier.
First baseman, number 3, Connor Huckins.
Now Coombs in a bit of a jam. Huckins up to bat, and there's the first strike that Coombs needed. So Coombs finally starting a man out with a strike. That one's just going to be high to even it up. Connor Huckins so far, a ground out, a strikeout, and a sacrifice fly. There's one that'll go foul up against the backstop. One and two, just high for Huckins. Another try, sent foul down the first base line. Legier on first, Thomas on second, Hill on third. Its base is loaded, 1 out, and a 2-2 count. The batter is Connor Huckins. That one's outside now for ball 3. Coombs balls at now 22 pitches, and another one that's down low for ball 4, and that one will drive in a run. That'll be another run for the Alpines. And bases still to remain loaded for Ryan Van Snick after 3 consecutive walks. Ryan Van Snick 1 for 2 tonight. There's the first pitch strike. Van Snick, walk, single, and strikeout swing has been his day so far. That one grounded to second. Smith, Cormier, Vautour, and they roll the double play to get them out of the inning. 4-6-3 double play to end off the top of the 6th, only giving up 1 run. That has probably been about the 4th time the Alpines have had the bases loaded. And we'll be back for the bottom of the 6th in a moment. Malone, Green, Bartley, the do-up for the Mets.
Winning ticket number 3499. 3499. Claim your prize at the Mets game day office. Designated hitter number 11, Jesse Malone.
And slap the other way from Malone on a 3-1 count. Getting on base for a single. And now potentially some striking opportunities for the Mets in the bottom of the 6th. Jake Green grounded into a double play and flew out to center earlier in the game. And Declan Buckle now enters the game for the Mets. He runs on first in replace of Jesse Malone. Green sends one high and out of the park for a foul. And this one sent the other way, foul this time. So now 0-2 for catcher Jake Green. He's had 2 hits in his first 4 games played. 0-2. Buckle pinch running on first. And this one sent high, but will drift off foul outside of play. Hit the railing of the bleachers. Still an 0-2 count. With still nobody gone in the inning for the catcher, Jake Green. And the 0-2. This one chopped again, foul. So 4 straight foul balls for Jake Green. Gale Braith still on the mound for the Alpines. And Green batting in there, sent high and into left field, not all too deep, and will be caught on by Peacock. That'll be a fly out to left field for Green. So we get the first out of the inning.
Center fielder, number 6, Sean Barkley.
Now it's Sean Barley that digs in. The left-handed batter has struck out and has popped out to the second baseman Hill so far in this contest. He gets started off right with a strike from Gale Braith. Gale Braith again with a strike on the left side. So a quick 0-2. This one hit high, a bit deeper to right field, but on it is Thomas, and he'll make the catch. So another hard hit ball for the Mets, but it goes right to an outfielder.
Third baseman, number 26, Justin Bro.
The 0-2, Justin Bro now makes his way in. Popped out to Van Snick and struck out earlier. And this one's lined over to third base. With the hard throw is Dignam, and they're gonna get him at first. What a play from that man right there. Matt Dignam fired it over from third base. Did not look like he had any chance, even on a hop. Great play from Huckins at first to grab that one up. And after So Matt Dignam now steps up. It's Jeremy Beliveau that's now on the mound for the Mets. In just his second appearance of the year, a rookie on this Moncton Mets team, called up from the Metro Mudcats where he played last year. There we look at Matt Dignam and his batting statistics last year. And here's the 0-1 that just slides in there for strike two. The 0-2 to Matt Dignam. He struck out, flew out to center field, and popped out to the third baseman. That one is just inside. Now 1-2. That one also outside, 2-2. And the walk game has been playing a huge factor for the Alpines in this game. The hits are even 6 apiece. The Alpines are up 6-0 so far in this game. That one just inside. Now after an 0-2 count, the next 3 all balls. Now it moves up to a full count. And there's a swung on and strike 3 for Matt Dignam, his second of the game. And Belivau's first strikeout and his first batter of the game coming into relief. Now it's Matt Peacock that steps up. Not too much to show for last year. 7 hits and with a .318 batting average, 2 RBIs. That one's a high one, but swung on and missed. Second one from Beliveau is just up high and left. And there's another one that swung on and missed from Peacock at the plate, 1-2. And there another one swung on but foul tipped into the chest of green. Peacock has singled, flown out, and grounded out so far this game. On a single in the second inning, he reached third, but was just shy of scoring a run. Now a 2-2 with a ball that goes just high. This one chopped to first, and that one's just going to move foul. O'Toole waiting on it now halfway through the first. Sam Bennett has tied the game for the Panthers. On Belivau's 12th pitch, just going foul. 2-2 to Peacock. That one sent just wide. Now a full count. Full count, Peacock. That one just sent low of the zone, so a runner will now be on first. Now Adam Clark's going to give it a 5th try of the game. And with it to take a moment and appreciate currently 62 watching along on this late Wednesday night between the St. John Alpines and the Moncton Mets live at Kiwanis Park in downtown Moncton. And we'll take a moment to remind you that our next live game here on the same MST channel is Sunday, June 8th. They take on the Chatham Ironmen for the 2nd time at 4 o'clock. First pitch. There's 2 pitches right there from Beliveau that are going to be strikes. Now he's in the driver's seat in this one, up 0-2 in the count. Clark now in a hole, has walked 3 times and has flown out once. And there is strike 3 on Adam Clark, and now puts down 2.
Second baseman, number 16, Connor Hill.
Now there's Belivau's 2nd strikeout of the inning. Now brings up Connor Hill, who has yet to not get on base. 2 walks and 2 singles. Now another try on his 5th at bat. This time it's against Beliveau. And the 1-0 to Hill. Peacock waits on first. This one a bit low for ball 2. Now the 2-0, and that's a hefty hack taken by Hill. Comes up short. It's now 2-1. One, 2 is in there from Jeremy Beliveau. And now has evened up the count. There's Hill now, 2-2 with 2 out. Pitch from Beliveau is outside for ball 3. Full count, 2 out. There goes Peacock running, and it's a strike 3 swinging. So Beliveau strikes out the side here in this one. Gives up 1 walk. That's nothing to worry about when you can strike out 3. As we now head bottom of the 7th, Mets down by a score of 6-0.
Second baseman number 25, Brian Smith.
Now Brian Smith comes up for the Mets, 1 for 2 today with a single. First pitch to the bottom of the 7th gets called a strike. This one smacked hard to the shortstop. It just gets by Clark and will go to the outfield and touch green grass for Smith's second single today.
Right fielder number 12, Stephen Martin.
And now it's Stephen Martin's turn, trying to get on base for the 3rd time. And there goes Brian Smith off to second, off of a wild pitch. And now a runner in scoring position for the Mets. Hoping to get their first run of the game. Stephen Martin, 2 for 2 with 2 singles and has gone to third base so far. And that is it, as he now gets a 2-0 count. Martin with the 2-0. Chopped over to Hill at second. Hill make an easy play over to Huckins at first. And that will get Stephen Martin on the ground out.
The shortstop number 7, Justin Cormier.
Now Cormier up, 1 out, and a runner on third. Smith was able to get up. There's a ground out over to second, and another one that'll be flipped to first. But meanwhile, Smith will come in to score. So now that gets the Mets on the board.
Fellow fielder number 23, Nathan Van Button.
And this may just be too little too late. And now Van Pun comes up. Will hit this one hard but foul. As Van Pun has had a pretty strong start to the season. This one's sent hard to the right, and this will not be the game. But will also not be a single for Van Pun, as this one's just foul. And he'll be down 0-2 with 2 foul balls to start off the at-bat. So Brian Smith, the only run so far in the game for the Mets. Here's Van Putten, 0-2. That one's just outside, so we'll keep the game alive. Mets so far this season have been struggling a bit with the offense. Most runs in a game scored was 4. This one's chopped up the middle, and this one might be it. It's Clark who will not get a hold of it. So Van Pun will cruise in there with a base hit. And now it's Serge Vautour.
First baseman number 16.
That'll move his way in. So Serge Vautour, 2 out, runner on first. That one's just inside. Van Putten going to stay at first. And that one will go down as the second error of the game for the Alpines. Serge Vautour now with a 1-0 count. Galbraith still on the mound. Looking to finish a complete game. There's Van Putten that stands and leads off at first. Takes a pretty big lead. Here's the pitch at home. Sent hard up the middle by Serge Vautour. And that'll give a chance for Van Putten to go to third. And he's safe. Dignam just couldn't quite gather up the ball. And Vautour will get on base with a hard line single right up the middle.
Designated hitter number 2, Declan Buckle.
So now it's Declan Buckle. Runners on the corners and 2 out. First pitch is a ball from Galbraith. This one sent foul and will skip off into the fence. One to Buckle and drops perfectly into the strike zone for a beautiful strike 2. And now the Mets down to their last strike. And it almost hits them. So we'll now go to 2-2. And again, we'll try this again. The 2-2 with 2 out. This one's hit high and will go into the gap. And there's Buckle hustling to second. And he'll get in there standing with a stand-up double. Van Putten scores on the play. Vautour at third and Buckle at second.
Catcher number 21, Jake Green.
So now 6-2 as it's Jake Green that rolls into the batter's box. He fouls this one off high. And a beautiful double into the gap from Buckle keeps this game alive. It's now 6-2. Green again sends this one high. Everyone's going to rush for it. This is pretty far out of play. Mets again down to their last strike. Green 0-2 the count, 0 for 3 today. Pitch from Galbraith is high. That keeps this count alive at 1-2. Another try from Galbraith. This one's just inside. This game will be continued. Ground right up the middle, and this one's gonna get by Hill. And now 2 more runs will come in for the Mets. And another clutch hit. This one's from Green. His first hit today. Gets just through the diving Connor Hill. Now that's 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th for the Mets, all with 2 outs. That'll bring up Sean Bartley. The Alpines just getting a man started
The center fielder, number 6.
in the bullpen. So 6-4 now in favor of the Alpines. The scheme has gone now within striking distance. Speaking of strikes, there's one that gets started off with Bartley. 0-1 the count still. 2 outs. This one's wide left. So Green with a 2 RBI single. That one's going to drop in perfectly for strike 2. And now again, the Mets down to their last strike have gone a bit of a 2-out rally, however. And the pitch from Galbraith. Up wide for ball 2. Two and 2 again. This one missing. So a full count, 2 outs. Green at first. Expect Green to be running here. He is. And that is a walk given up to Sean Bartley. Now tying run is on base. Did not think we'd hear that. And now Bro has a chance to get this one within 1. First pitch strike. And this one chopped foul. And now Mets down to their last strike again. Now the 0-2 to Bro. This one swung on and will just bounce foul. That one ever so close to ending this one. Another try at the 0-2. This one misses wide. There's Bartley that stands at first. And Green who's on second. Galbraith again, the 2-1. This one sent high and behind the backstop for a foul ball. Again, potential game-winning pitch to Bro. Had hesitated swinging on it, but will fight it off. This game's still alive. And there's a swing and a miss from Bro, and that'll end the baseball game with an ending closer than expected, but Galbraith will pitch a complete game with 120 pitches total.
Bottom of the 7th, 4 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, and 2 men left.
And that ends our ball game by a score of 6-4 in favor of the St. John Alpines. The Mets will now move to 1-4. Alpines 2-0. There are 2 victories against the Moncton Mets. Our next game, it's Sunday afternoon, 4 o'clock start against the Chatham Ironmen. We appreciate you tuning in and watching the Moncton Mets here on MST. Good night from Kiwanis Park.